Welcome to Designer Discussions with Jason, Maria, and Miriam. Today, we are going to talk about the power of networking. Welcome to the Designer Discussions podcast with
Jason,
Maria,
and Miriam. Tune in each week where we talk about marketing, PR, and business advice for design professionals.
This is a good topic, Miriam, because oftentimes as small business owners, we're often in our own little world. And one of the best ways to grow your business is to network. You hear this a lot, but oftentimes people think that they have to go out to a meeting and meet people. We don't have Maria on today, but she had talked about how she's not very social, but there are ways that you can network without having to be out there. One of the ways that we all know about is social media. That's one of the ways that we all met. Actually, we had met on LinkedIn, and just by having conversations and talking, we had met and then we connected. We saw that we had a lot of things in common. And then from there, we have built a business relationship. So that's just one way to network where you don't have to be out there meeting others if you have social anxiety. So obviously you want to, at the heart of whatever it is, you want to be involved in your local groups, whether that be ASID, whether that be NKBA, AIA, NARI, any of the organizations that are national. They usually have a local chapter. And all of these chapters have either monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, or some type of meetings that you can go to and be around like-minded people. Oftentimes you'll connect with others that you have things in common with. And I've met others at AIA meetings or NKBA meetings that we've had things in common and we've actually done work together. We've done joint projects from that networking. You can also meet at a lot of these local or regional groups. You'll often have allied professions at these meetings as well, where if you listen to any of our past episodes about social media, you'll hear how we talked about if you do like a live event or if you do Instagram live or whatever, you could tag people. If you tag any of the allied professions or the vendors that you work with, and they are either on it or they like it, you now open yourself up to their audience. That's an aspect of networking. So networking is just one of those aspects that you want to get into, especially as a small business owner, because business development is a big part of growing the business, and networking is a part of that. So we had talked about social media. We had talked about joining one of your local organizations. You can also think about networking with your immediate audience, your family and friends, letting them know what you do. Oftentimes I'll hear that my uncle or my aunt has no idea what I do. And I'll say, why do they not know? Because if they knew, now if they meet people that may be interested in what you offer, now that can help to grow your network. So just talking to your own family and friends, letting them know what you do, how you do it, then they're more knowledgeable. So if they're out networking or if they're out talking to other people, now they can refer you or reference others to you either as a network, as a client, or as a colleague. So just within your own inner circle, making sure your own people know what you do is very important, because I can't tell you how many times I'm at networking events and I'll hear people say, my brother has no idea what I do. My mom has no idea what I do. And I'll say, why is that? Because you don't know who they know or who they may come in contact with. And by having them know what you do, like I said, it just opens up your network. So that's just a simple way. Where you went to college. That's a simple. Oftentimes colleges have networking events, or if you're not living in the same area where you went to college, you can get access to the directory to see where they have local events. So I'm a huge Ohio State fan, and they are always having watch parties. So every time I head to a watch party, I'm meeting new people, even though it's not around the business that I do, it's around what we all love, Ohio State football. But in that meeting, we're talking to, and I'm talking to other professionals in other professions, and we're networking. They're learning about what I do. I'm learning about what they do. So if I happen to come across anybody in that industry or vice versa, it's helping to grow my network.
Yeah, I think you covered really most of the best ways to network. The one I would add is, and you mentioned it a little bit too, but go into actual events. Like for me, whenever I go to KBIS or another trade show, it's a really great way to network with other industry professionals, be it like in the construction and design industry. And for me, with media, because all the media are always at the big trade shows. So if you have an audience, if you think about your target audience of potential clients or just people that are important stakeholders in your business, like go and attend the events where those people are, because there's really nothing like networking in person. I'm like, it's great to network on LinkedIn or in Facebook groups, or wherever that may be, but there's really nothing that compares to talking to somebody live. So I would say whenever you can, try to, it's we're not always motivated to do that. I think a lot of people are not, it's like Jason's like the very outgoing type, Maria is the more um less likely to put herself out there. I'm somewhere in the middle, so I kind of have to make myself do these things. But then when I'm there, I really enjoy it. So I really try to do that as much as I can. So I'd definitely say live events, don't neglect those.
Miriam just said that I'm more outgoing. Honestly, if you knew me in high school, I would not have been. I would classify myself more of an introvert, extrovert. And there's actually a term for this.
Ambivert.
Ambivert, that's what it
Yes,
was. Yes. So
ambivert.
where you're an introvert at heart, but when you're
Mhm.
around others or you're more of an extrovert. And honestly, that happened because I am a business owner, and it's just a part of, if you want to grow your business, you have to, it's just an aspect of networking. So that's how that grew out of that. One of the things I want to touch on as we end this is that at any networking event, whether you're at a live event, whether you're on social media, whether I had said earlier, talking to family and friends, you're at one of your college events or whatever it is, however you're networking, make sure you follow up. That's vital, because you're going to meet a lot of people just in life, just by networking, just in general. Anyone that's interested or has interest in what you have to offer or interested in what you said, or anybody that was referred to you, make sure you follow up with them. We deal with a lot of the clients we work with on the marketing side where a lot of deals are lost are on the follow up. So making sure you follow up with them, whether it's through email, whether it's through call, whether it's through text message, however it may be, following up is one of the best ways that you can make sure that connection lasts and it turns into a professional connection, whether it turns into a client, whether it converts. Following up is vital. Those are just a few things we want to talk about in terms of networking. And I wanted to address this topic because as a small business owner, like I said, networking is vital for you to grow, whether it's locally, regionally, or nationally. Networking should be an aspect of what you do to grow your business. This is just one of the things we want to talk about today, and we hope to hear and see you all in 2 weeks on Designer Discussions.
Did you know that your client learns 80% of what they will know about you before they ever contact you? Now imagine when your potential client searches for the perfect kitchen remodel. Will they find you or your competition? We can help you make sure it's you. Our Designer Discussions Academy membership with your favorite podcast hosts provide weekly steps to simplify your marketing and boost your business. Sign up at designerdiscussions.com or follow the link in the show notes. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Designer Discussions and all of the helpful information. Subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, and share it with your friends. We look forward to having you back next week. For more information on the podcast and the marketing studio, visit designerdiscussions.com and follow us on social media.